Okay, welcome back to Trimble Garage. So today we're going to be working on Finley's 2001 Ford Ranger with the 3.0 V6. And what we're doing is removing the timing cover and fixing a coolant leak. There's a coolant leak that has been getting worse and worse, and we finally figured out where it is. It's coming from the timing cover where it goes against the block. Apparently it's a fairly common problem. So we're going to be replacing that, and we're also going to be replacing the timing chain and sprockets. Because if you're in there, you might as well change those as well. It's going to be an oil change as well because you'll probably get some coolant into the oil pan when you pull that cover off. But let's just dig right into it and get this thing done. So the drain is on the passenger side bottom of the radiator. It's just a simple little, that's good, Finn. Don't do any more than that. Just let it drain out. Perfect. Next thing is going to be remove the intake pipe, and then we'll see if we can get the fan and shroud off. 10 mil bolts for the fan shroud. One here, and on the other side. 22 millimeter wrench on the fan. See if we can crack it loose. Okay, so it's a left-hand thread, and we had to put a whole bunch of heat on it to get that to open up some penetrating oil. We finally got it off.
Very difficult.
It was a
very,
pain.
Very difficult.
22 millimeter wrench is what we used, but somebody, there we go, now it'll all come up together. Watch, it'll be hot.
It's very hot.
Just slide up, watch the fan, the radiator, there we go. All right, now I'm loosening the bolts from the water pump pulley. Once they're loose, we will remove the belt. Okay, we're gonna pop the tensioner off. It's an 8 millimeter bolt.
Long bolt.
There we go. Now we can get at this bracket a bit more. It's gotta come off. There's a hidden bolt in here that you need to get to behind the tensioner to pull this bracket off. Okay, so you got to remove your bracket assembly with the power steering. So what we did, we just took all the bolts out and pulled it back, just holding it back with a bungee cord. And we ended up pulling the radiator off because these bolts for the crank pulley are super tight, actually with red Loctite. So we got the last one. Go ahead, Finn, crack that thing loose. There you go. That pulley should come off. All right, next thing we're gonna do is pull this hose off, sorry for the light, it's not very good, and the harmonic balancer, we're gonna pull that off down there. And we might have to pull, I'll pull this sensor for the crank trigger. But that is pretty much gonna do it. After that, we should be able to pull the water pump off will be the next thing. All right, let's get the crank trigger off. I'm already pulled the bolts, let's just pull her off, there we go. We got all the water pump bolts out. See if she'll come loose. No, just give it a little tap with the butt end of the hammer, just down on it. Should just not too crazy.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
All right, we were trying to get the water pump off, and we missed one little 8 millimeter bolt under the middle. But with that coming out, it should just come loose now. It'll come right off with that bolt.
Oh yeah, she's already leaking.
Is it going in the bucket?
No, all a mix of it, yeah.
Here we go. Oh, that came off nice.
A lot easier than everything else.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, there we go. Just, yeah, you can just pull it off. Just pull it by hand. There we go. Okay, we're gonna start pulling the timing cover. 17 millimeter bolts.
Ooh. Oh, that's not good.
Yeah, that's a lot of coolant. All right, so we took 2 bolts from underneath the oil pan. There was 2 coming through into the cover. And now we're trying to there's a little tab right here that you could pry on. We got this side kind of coming out, and now we got to get this side out. There we go. Timing cover.
Very dirty.
So where it was leaking was right in here.
Really?
Yeah, this is where it leaking out. This gasket here somewhere.
This
is where it was. The coolant was pissing out here.
Yeah.
So if we look at the block, it was in that area there that it was leaking out. But that's why that's down in your sump there. So clean these surfaces up. Also, we got to do the timing chain. So we'll bring this up to top dead center, and we'll swap out the timing chain. So down here, looking at the timing chain, Yeah, I'm glad we went and bought a kit. Look at the slop in this thing. It is, I can't believe that didn't do any damage skipping a tooth or something. That is really loose. This side's a little loose. This side is crazy. All right, so for timing marks, there's a dot right here and the keyway here. I don't know, I don't see any marks on here, but basically just gonna have these facing each other and that'll be fine. So we're gonna pull the sprockets off and put the new stuff on. All right, really easy to put the new chain on with the sprockets. Next thing we're gonna do is clean up these gasket faces. And so I've stuffed some rags down here so we don't get any debris down in the oil pan. And once we get that all cleaned up, we'll probably go ahead and drain the oil. But we'll spend some time here cleaning this up. I got the other parts in the solvent tank. I'm gonna clean them up. So let's go through it. Okay, we got everything cleaned up. Ended up having to go buy a new water pump. I don't know why I didn't buy one. I was trying to save my kids some money, but the old pump was, the bearings were making noise. So we went and just picked up a new water pump. Okay, so I got everything cleaned up here. I found where the leak was, and it was, let's see if I can focus on it. It was right there. It's not focusing very good. Somebody has put in like a Belzona or some kind of a filler in here because of the corrosion. There's a couple spots they've done that. And it was weeping through here along this channel and running down the back right by this radiator hose outlet. So that is why I thought maybe the hose was leaking or something. It was really hard to tell. And I realized it was coming from the where the case timing cover goes onto the block. But this right here, see if I can get that to focus. No, it does not want to focus. But that's where the problem lies, right there. So to deal with that, if you ever run into that problem and you want to try to seal something up, this stuff works really well. It's Permatex Formagasket sealant. It is, well, you can see it's like black. It's not black, it's brown. I'll try to get some to come out here. But it works very well. So we'll be putting that on this whole face actually to make sure that that gasket is going to seal. All right, let's see how this looks. I just quickly put together something to press the seal in. The next thing I'm going to do, I got the harmonic balancer mounted in my lathe. I'm just going to polish this up a little bit. I don't like that groove. I'm not going to take it out. It's, you know, I'm not going to take it away completely, but I do want to give this a bit of a polish. And there you go, much better. Just blend that a little bit. Actually, Finley did that, I didn't do it. So let's take this out and we'll put this aside for the reassembly. All right, so I was showing how this was getting corrosion in here. And I noticed there was some discoloration on there, on this side. The timing engine side, I should say. And then in here, you can see where there's actually corrosion, this cathodic action going on that's corroded through. And this part was quite concerning. So I took my pick and it went right through into the other side of the timing cover, which of course means now engine coolant was probably just starting to weep into the engine, not only leaking here, but getting into the engine. So with that said, which sucks, I just pressed that new seal in there. Although a new timing cover comes with a seal, we need to get a new timing cover. So that's gonna set us back about a week because I'm gonna have to order this on Rock Auto. And yeah, unfortunate, but you know, it's probably just as well. This is gonna seal beautifully with a new water pump and a new timing cover. There won't be any more issues with coolant leaking, but that's it for now. One thing when we bought this truck, or when my son bought this truck, the previous owner had gotten a new radiator put in. So looking at that timing cover, the corrosion that's in there, it tells me that they never changed the coolant in this thing, which rotted out the radiator. They replaced the radiator, but there's other damage obviously inside the engine, the aluminum parts, that timing cover. So new timing cover, new water pump, and we'll get this all, figured out here. All right, it's been about a week, so parts came in actually early. So we got new water pump in here, which is great.
Cheaper than Lord Goes.
I actually already checked it. It's got the left-hand thread, which is good.
Okay.
Cheaper than Lord Goes, right. More gaskets. And there we go. Isn't that nice?
Oh, that's nice.
Brand new timing cover. So we're going to start slapping this together. Putting the water pump on the timing cover before we install it, because that way, because the timing cover is sandwiched in place by the water pump, the timing cover bolts go through here. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on, and we already got the new crank seal pressed in, but we'll put these bolts on and then we'll install the water pump or the timing cover all together. All right, so we wiped everything down and dried it, and now basically what we're doing is putting some Permatex just on the front of the block here, the face of the block. It's good stuff. It'll take up any corrosion or anything. Although it does look good, it'll definitely help the gaskets seal that timing cover. All right, so we got some RTV silicone around the oil pump. So now we should be able to slide that down and just lift it in place, hopefully. Oh, I hope that water pump won't be a problem getting over under that. It should be okay.
Go under or over?
Yeah, just slide. Okay, we got the gasket on. We'll try this again. You'll feel the dowels and it'll...
Yeah. I don't want to flop cock it too much. There we go. There we go.
There we go. Let's get the bolts on. All right, new cover's on. All the bolts are tightened up, and thread sealant on all the bolts except for the small ones here. We didn't bother with those because those are they're blind holes. But all the longer bolts, they've all got thread sealant on them. So the next thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and throw the harmonic balancer back on, and then we've got to do this bracket here for the power steering pump and everything. All right, getting the harmonic balancer on. We got the water pump pulley on, crank pulley on, and I'm gonna put the tensioner on. Oh, the stool slipped. Now we're doing up this bracket. There's a couple really ignorant bolts in the back, 2 in the back for this bracket, and 3 in the front. We're just gonna let Finn tighten up the ones in the back, and then we'll get the front done, and then, yeah, tensioner, belt, and then we'll throw the fan and the radiator on. All right, we got the bracket on here. The tensioner belt is all, tensioner's on, belt's on. And now we're gonna slide this on. I think you got that sideways, Finn.
Think so?
Yeah. Or is it?
No, it's
not. No, it's right, you're right. I'm gonna slide the fan on together. I would hold the fan from the other side. That's it.
That's not good. Yeah, well, that's not good. Here, I'll slip that.
And then that goes left-hand thread. So loosen it, it'll feel like it's tightened up.
Hold on.
All right, I may have helped Riley get, or Finn, I may have helped Finn get that fan on, but there we go.
We got it.
So we'll get the wrench on that, we'll snug it up, tighten up the fan shroud here, and next thing we gotta do is actually remove the oil filter. We're doing an oil change while we're at it. And there's a little bit of coolant still in that engine, so we're gonna drain the last little bit of coolant that splashed in there when we pulled that timing cover off. Fill it with oil and coolant, and yeah, we should be ready to start this thing up pretty quick. All right, we put the oil in. New filter, got the coolant in it. I think we're ready to flash this thing up, Finn. Okay, she's ready to start. Let's go for it. Beauty. All right, so we're out on a test drive and everything seems to be working fine. We ran it in the driveway. It took a while to get the air out of the coolant system and top the rat up, but we got heat coming out. Everything's working well. Looks like there's no leaks. We'll have to check it after a drive. But yeah, it was. We had to wait. You know, we found that problem luckily with that timing cover where there was corrosion, and it was actually about to start leaking through. So we got a brand new timing cover, as you saw. Yeah, that would have been a nightmare. But anyway, out of 1 out of 10, what do you think?
Probably a 6.
A 6?
Yeah, there were some hiccups along the way.
Bit of a challenge. It's not too bad though. But you know, the hard part, getting that fan off is a challenge, and you need a puller to get the harmonic balancer. But other than that, we're gonna let this video end here. So yeah, thoughts and comments down below, and yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and have yourself a great day.